With about 24% in contribution to Nigeria's economy, the agricultural sector is one that we would like to say is the largest in contribution to the country's GDP. We've seen the present administration come out to say that they are fighting in ensuring that agriculture has come to stay and, of course, take its pride of place in the Nigerian economy. On the note, we'll start the program Agric today on ARCN Television, Abuja, Nigeria. I am Khadija Uluwatoyin. On today's episode of the program, I shall be taking a look at the diversification of Nigerian economies through agriculture. How can we ensure that Nigeria's economy is being diversified through agriculture? Before now, we know that agriculture is one major aspect that takes the country to the highest when it comes to the ranking in the world. And to discuss that with me in the studio is Mr. Oluwashijibumi Charles. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
We've seen the past administration came up to, in all the deal, they came out with the agenda for the sector. When this administration came in, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his first speech to Nigerians, hammered on the fact that agriculture is one a sector that must be revived and ensure that there is food sustainability and the rest of it. There's been moved towards this. The Ministry of Agriculture has been doing a lot, so to say, in ensuring that this has come to stay. There's work going as regards ensuring that agriculture takes pride of place. How do you think that this can be done seamlessly?
Thank you very much. Firstly, let me start by explaining what agriculture is and the importance of agriculture. And I wouldn't explain it through the usual description or definition, but I want to start by saying the most important profession when it comes to man's existence or mankind is the profession of agriculture. The former Minister of Agric, Advert, what he always says while speaking with the legislators, that's the House of Rep members, I want to quote what he said, that the most important legislative chamber in the world is the stomach. I remember they said that. No matter what we do, no matter the profession we engage ourselves in, whether you're a medical doctor, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a lawyer, you need to eat before you can be productive in any form. This makes agriculture the most important profession in the world. Now, talking of diversifying agriculture, in the first speech of the president, as the New Year Day speech, the president was talking about the plantation of, I think, millets on thousands of hectares in Jigawa. So that means the president is encouraging irrigation farming. And at the end of the day, that means the federal government is trying to see how it can improve on having an all-round year farming system, which is a very welcome development. We have to buy this idea. We don't have a choice about it. And one of the detriments, one of the setbacks we have presently when it comes to agriculture and diversifying the economy is insecurity presently. Insecurity has reduced the arable farmland. The farmers that are into this farming operation are being one way or the other disturbed by the perceived elders, and we have very few land for cultivating the food that we consume. And presently, it is postulated that we have maybe 200 or 220 million Nigerians. If we have to stop importation of food, which one way or the other affects the GDP of the country, then we need these arable farmlands. One. Apart from that, we have to incorporate the best farming practices into these arable farmlands. If we can adopt these two measures, adopting technology, using the best seeds, then there is no way agriculture won't increase the GDP of this country. And even before the oil was, was found or noticed in Nigeria, agriculture used to be the main bane of, of income in Nigeria. We are not saying the oil is not is a bad idea, but yet or still we can't neglect agriculture. We can't do without agriculture because human existence is based on agriculture by bringing food to the table of every Nigerian.
Okay, so how can we go about this?
Yes, one of the things we have to do is we have to curb insecurity, number one. Number two, we have to bring in technology into the profession of agriculture. Bringing in technology to the profession of agriculture will make the profession to be attractive to the teeming youth population and the women. There's a postulation that it is only the women, those in the village, that are going into agriculture. But the moment the government invests into agriculture by incorporating technology, incorporating mechanization into agriculture, then it becomes attractive to the teeming youth population. The issue of unemployment becomes reduced. The issue of shortage of food crops or raw materials into our industries becomes something of the past. So these are the ways that I believe the government can improve on agriculture by making it attractive to the youth of the country.
We have spoke on this program, youth have complained that agric is not made, attractive and the rest of it. And on an episode of the program, we'll have this similar topic. We had our guest speaking on, post production. Basically, you do not really have to, be in the farming aspect of agriculture. We have so different kinds of farming methods. We have the biotech method. We have the the normal whole and cutlass method and the rest of it. So despite these these
concerns
by experts and stakeholders, we still see that the gap is still there.
Right.
And ordinary youths still just want a white collar job. And even if not really going into agriculture, they don't believe that much can be gotten from the sector.
Okay. I have some suggestions, which I believe, if adopted, could go a long way. Presently, you talked about O and cutlass farming. That is not being done again in at the Western countries, advanced countries like the US and Brazil, Argentina. These are countries that practice agriculture in on subsistence, on commercial, on commercial scale, um, they make use of technology. They do technology. They use mechanization. So these two, they are very key, and these two could be capital intensive. Uh, One way government could make agriculture lucrative to the youths is by making funds, maybe through a bank of
Loans.
agriculture, through all these loans available to the youths, and maybe the payment system uh, should be like flexible
Mm-hmm.
for the youths. Now, another thing is I want to bring in the seed councils, and we have an agency under Federal Ministry of Agriculture. That's the National Agricultural Seed Council. They have a lot to do in making sure there are good seeds available for farmers, because that is a very, very key and important part of the agricultural practice. Farmers need good seeds, so that at the end of the day they will be able to have good yield. And the government should encourage technology, mechanization, by making tractors available for farmers. Uh, we can't be doing cutlass and hoe and cutlass farming, as you said, and expect us to be self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
No, it might not be possible. So we indulge and we pray that the government will look more into this by making arable seeds available, putting more money into technology, and putting more money into farm mechanization. And another thing that you talked about is biotechnology. Yes, biotechnology is a tool that makes agric more lucrative and easy for farmers, uh, especially in the US. The US have gone into herbicide tolerant seeds. They've gone into insect resistant seeds. Herbicide tolerant seeds in such a way that farmers won't have to use hoe or cutlass to be doing weeding. Insect resistant seeds, whereby farmers will just have to do very little or no spray for insects and diseases on their plants. Thereby, they will be able to have more income. They will spend less on insecticides when it comes to insect resistant seeds, and they will spend less on herbicides when it comes to herbicide tolerant plants. So these are the kind of technology that we want the government to adopt. And this will go a long way to reduce the rate at which we import from these countries that are using the same technology. So the question is, why can't we improve on our own varieties and incorporate this technology into our own varieties?
We'll take a quick break. While we return, we'll bring you more educating discussions. Stay tuned. It's still the program Agric today here on RCN Television, Abuja, Nigeria. We've been talking on the diversification of the Nigerian economy through agriculture. This discussion has been ongoing for a while. We've seen where stakeholders come up to hammer on the need for agriculture to be diversified and make attractive for youth so that the sector can thrive. program Agric today here on RCN Television, Abuja, Nigeria. We've been talking on the diversification of the Nigerian economy through agriculture. This discussion has been ongoing for a while. We've seen where stakeholders come up to hammer on the need for agriculture to be diversified and make attractive for youth so that the sector can thrive. And we've been having that discussion with Mr. He said he doesn't want me to call him doctor.
That's okay.
We've been having that discussion with Dr. Charles in the studio. You've mentioned so many ways in which this diversification can, take place. What are the contributions so far? Especially when it comes to you talked about us leveraging on technology and the rest of it. I know that even in your own office there's been with all the awareness and acceptability, there are still people who refrain and try to take themselves aback when it comes to having genetically modified seeds and the rest of it. How do you think these we can merge together in making this country arrive at that?
First of all, I want to talk on how we can improve on agriculture as to reduce the importation of the deficits that we have when it comes to agriculture. I think around 4 or 5 years ago, there was a statistics I read that there was a deficit of like 60% of maize, and Nigeria had to import maize from maybe the US, soya beans, from the US too. If we can incorporate technology, do lots of farm mechanization, all these monies that we use to import these deficits that we are having on these certain crops, even fish, I heard about that. If we can, incorporate technology and mechanization, then we will be able to be self-sufficient, if not to perfection, at least to a considerable extent. If at all we have to import, we'll just little to augment the little deficits. So the money that will be used to import this deficit can be channeled to infrastructure, can be even channeled to more mechanization or technology when it comes to making agriculture, lucrative for the teeming youth population. And I earlier said too, because of the funds that might be involved in the profession of agriculture, government should make loans available to those that want to delve into the profession of agriculture and make the repayment of these loans flexible for the youths. This will in turn attract the teeming youths into this profession. Then talking about the seed technology, I earlier mentioned that we need good and certified seeds to give us optimum yield. Then you talked about the bioengineered seeds. Before any seed that has been genetically modified is being released into the environment, there has been one or two forms of improvement that has been done on those seeds that will benefit agriculture as it is, that will benefit the youth and anybody that is involved in that profession. Now, let's talk about herbicide tolerance, for instance. This is being done so that agriculture can be planted on a large scale and we can spray the plant. The plant remains while the weeds die off, because the weeds always compete with plants. And by the time these weeds outgrow plants, it reduces the productivity, the yield of plants, because the weeds will now start competing with the plants on the little nutrients that are on this farmland in the soil. So this is what these are the technology that has been adapted in the US, in Argentina, in Brazil, whereby they spray the land mass of plants, they spray them with herbicides, the plant remains, but the weeds die off. At the end of the day, they get bountiful harvest. Now, talk of insect resistance or insect tolerance seeds. By the time you plant these types of varieties of seeds, you spend less on chemicals. You spend less on chemicals, thereby the farmers have more money in their pockets. They spend less, and at the end of the day, they have the harvest, they get bountiful harvest. So these are the techniques or technology that we should adopt, and this less chemicals that is being used or reduced also helps our environment. Helps in reducing the greenhouse gas emission into the atmosphere, and even these less chemicals that is being used helps in protecting the soil. So these are environmental friendly techniques that we should adopt. Without this, youth will not see agriculture as being lucrative and as being attractive. And whether we like it or not, we have to foment ways, we have to make ways to make agriculture, lucrative. If by the time you gather 10 students and you ask them, what profession do you want to delve into?
Children.
Hardly can you see 1 or 2% of them that will tell you they want to do agriculture. Most of them will all say, oh, medicine, lawyer, these pilots. We can't continue that way. One way or the other. So some people still have to do agriculture, or else we all go hungry.
Okay, so quickly in wrapping up the program, where do you think, in what aspect do you think Nigeria has done well as regards ensuring that agriculture, is doing well?
Well, the present initiative of the new president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in ensuring an all year-round agriculture by investing more in the irrigation system. It's a very big welcome development. Then what I will say again, seed companies should try and protect the integrity of seeds, make sure the right seeds are available for the farmers, and they shouldn't make them too expensive for the farmers. And I indulge the general public to adopt technology, and the government should provide more funds into farm mechanization and training of farmers.
Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's it. Seed council is up to you, because for you to have a good yield, it has to come with having a good seed first before we begin talking about the soil type and the rest of it. So on that note, to take a bow from here. Join us again, same time, same station next week. I am Khadija Oluwatoyami saying thank you for joining us.